Today we're taking a tour around the northern part of Okinawa called Hokubu. It's about 2 hours drive from Naha, and we're going to go up to Higashi, which is the eastern village on the east side of the island. Probably the area that gets visited least by visitors to Okinawa, but we've got some special places to see today. So join us on the tour. This is a statue to Tei Junzoku, also known as Chobin, his Okinawan name. He's an extremely influential figure in Okinawan history. Born in the 15th century in Kumimura, the Chinese community down in near Naha, he became a Confucian scholar and actually became instrumental in introducing Confucian ethics and the education system, the beginnings of an education system, into Okinawa. He established the Merindo, which was a school for Confucian study based down in Kumimura, and that in fact became the first public school in Okinawa. He also, very significantly, was a senior figure on the council, on the royal council, and in that role visited Edo, visited the Tokugawa shogunate, and introduced Confucian ethics to Japan. That was then adopted and then used as a kind of rule book for commoners throughout medieval Japan. So Tei Junzoku was an extremely influential figure, and also what's interesting is he introduced these 6 rules for conduct based on Confucian ethics. People often ask me, what is a good dojo-kun, or where does the idea of a dojo-kun come from? Something that we're all familiar with now in a karate dojo. Well, his 6 ethics, or six rules for conduct, are very much the sort of the prototype for many of the dojo-kun that you would see in dojos today. Tei Junzoku introduced the Ryukyu, the 6 teachings. Be dutiful to your parents, respect your elders, be at peace with your own native land, teach and guide your offspring, be content with your occupation, and do not engage in wrongdoing. In order to find the statue to Tei Junzoku, you need to go to the Nago City Museum, the Nago Hakubutsukan. This is located on the corner, just around the corner, in fact, from the Orion Beer Factory, another popular destination. So, Orion Beer Factory, head for that, find the Nago Museum, and Tei Junzoku is sat just outside the front.
Okay, so editing Becca jumping in here. We had a few sound issues after we visited the Tei Junzoku statue. So we drove north along the coast where it was absolutely beautiful, very, very green, lots of mountains. And we arrived at the Higashi Azalea Park that is only open for 1 month of every year when all the azaleas are in bloom. So we took the chance in March. It's open every March for 1 month. We took the chance in March to go to the park, and it was absolutely beautiful, like beautiful colors everywhere you could look. Like, it was very, very nice place to visit. We've heard that the Kaneshima Shinsuke monument is in this park, but then we got confused about which one it actually was, and if it is this one or not. I think it's this one. The mayor showed us it was this one, but it might not be this one. So until we're sure about that, we're not gonna say anything. So what was interesting was we came across this poster about being aware of the habus and being careful of the snakes, and this one was particularly unique because usually when you see a sign to the habus, it usually just says be careful of the snakes, but this one, it explains how you can tell a habu apart from other snakes. So it shows you the shape of its head and like what its eyes look like, and it shows you like the kinds of pattern in its markings. And it also shows the different kinds of habu and where they come from. So we had walked all the way down to the bottom of the Azalea Park, And there was definitely a couple of trails that were down there. We tried to take a couple of them, but they're quite overgrown and you'd really need to want to go on an adventure to go and have a look at the trails down there. If you can just spend sort of a couple of hours walking around the park, and there's a nice little bridge, there's lots and lots of greenery, it leads to a tiny, tiny little waterfall at the end of it. It's nice to go, but in March it will be busy, probably for the entire month, because it's only open once a year. So if you go, you have to be prepared for there to be quite a few other people visiting at the same time as you. Once we were done at the Azalea Park, we went to a tree nearby, a sandalwood tree. And I'd never seen a sandalwood tree before. It was really interesting. I saw it on somebody else's social media post and thought it looked really cool to go and see. Its roots are very, very interesting. It smells like sandalwood probably only when it's burning, but just when it's a tree, it doesn't really smell like that. It's a nice little spot to stop by if you're going past it. So from there, we drove on to the Uechi Kanbun monument. We got a little bit lost in the mountains having a look for this one, but we eventually got ourselves back on the right track, and here we are. The day's coming to a bit of an end, so we had to go fast to get to this one. And we let James take back over now.
So we're here in Yaedake at the Sakarao no Mori Koen, the cherry blossom park. And just a few years ago, this statue was situated here, unveiled here, which is a statue to the founder of Uechi-ryu, Uechi Kanbun Sensei. Probably one of the most impressive karate statues on the island. And the inscription, the kanji, were all drawn by Hokama Tetsuhiro Sensei, who many of you will know as the famous Goju-ryu teacher and also a proprietor of the Karate Museum. Uechi Kanbun was born on May 5th, 1877 in Izumi, this area in Motobu, a place that was known for the spirit of Bu. At the age of 20, he traveled to the Fujian province of China and studied Southern Shaolin fist style under Master Shushiwa. 7 years later, he was awarded a master's certificate and returned to Okinawa in 1909. Uechi-ryu wasn't originally known as such. Originally he was called Pangainun, and then later in 1940, Kanbun Sensei renamed it to Uechi-ryu. Uechi-ryu has become characteristic through its use of training for fingertips and the toes, sokusen, toe kick, and Yuko-kaku, dragon, tiger, and crane techniques. Today, Uechi-ryu has a reputation as a very, very strong style of karate. Kanbun, the founder of Uechi-ryu Karate, built the foundation of the system, and his eldest son, Kaie, developed and popularized the art in Okinawa and overseas, and thus Uechi-ryu was deepened and advanced significantly around the world. Uechi Kanbun passed away on November 25th, 1948, at the age of 71. As part of the opening ceremony for the unveiling of Uechi Kanbun's memorial here, a number of trees, shikuasa trees, were planted around the site of the statue, and by local community leaders and by leaders of the local martial arts association too. This one planted in fact by Taira Sensei, head of the Matsubashiru, our style. This one over here by Aharen Sensei, one other Shurite and Kobudo teacher, Sakarao Sensei over there, and they continue on around the park. I'll be like, damn, that was a long walk from Naha. Yeah? All right. You ready? Well, here we are. We're on a very small mountain road just west of Nago, but a place you wouldn't find unless you knew where to go. But this is quite special. What we have here is a memorial to the hiding place of Matsumura Kosaku. So Matsumura Kosaku was famous as kind of the fifth saint, the Kensei of Tomarite. He was Shuribushi and in fact responsible for the people of Tomari. During the time that he was in that role, he, in the course of defending a local woman against the unwanted attacks of a Satsuma samurai, got into a fight with a samurai, disabled the samurai, but lost the tip of one of his fingers during that fight. That had him as a marked man, and he had to escape Naha, and he came all the way up here to Nago. When he arrived, the people of the village down in the valley decided to help him, and they brought him up here to this remote corner of the mountain so that he could hide. They built him a house just over here, and this memorial stone was erected really just in remembrance of the time that he spent here, probably about 15 years. They said that while he was here, he was working as a rent collector. But we can go in and have a look. And here at the memorial, it says Bushi Matsumura Kosaku. The memorial to the house where he's hidden, and this is Memorial Stone. So there we have it. This is one of the less well known and harder to find spots, karate spots, up in the north of Okinawa.
So after we had visited Matsumura Kosaku's hiding place, we came back towards central Nago, where we were going to head back south, and we had to split because I had a different car to James. And he stopped by the Todoroki waterfall, which is this one here. It's only really been renovated in the last few years. They've really made this park a nice place to stop, and definitely seems to be a good place to stop after a long day. So they've put lots of picnic benches, places children can play, and there's a nice natural waterfall at the end of the park here. So here we have it. There's the beautiful natural waterfall, and obviously day by day its strength and how much water is flowing down will vary, but it's usually really beautiful to see. So just as the day is coming to the end, there's a really beautiful sunset. It was really great to go and explore all of the sites up north and to see and explore a bit more up there. We hope you like us showing you a little bit more of what we found up there.